Oh, right. To start it. Okay. Get my notes down here. Hi, Erica. Welcome. How are you? That one? Yeah. Thanks for telling me. Let me go open it up. I'll be right back. components that we're going to be practicing: postures, breath work, chanting, and meditation. At our last service, we did practice a little Om. So if you'd like to practice that now, you can close your eyes. And as you inhale, you'll exhale out an Om, moving the energy in and out. Again, we're just humming gently and feeling the vibration of energy moving into our stomach, our belly breath. Humming it out. Just starting to wake up that energy inside of us. Imagining the light moving in as you sniff down to your abdomen. Then you push it out. Wonderful. We'll start to sit up a little taller, our heads up towards the sky, our shoulders up, back, and down. You could put your prana here at your knees with your finger over your, or under your thumb. Again, covering ourselves with God. We breathe in. We exhale. Starting to welcome that energy to move freely, to flow within us. Again, this is not a workout. We're just doing a simple stretch here, taking it easy, moving our bodies together, and hopefully to live like Him, showing up for ourselves, God, and others here tonight with each mindful moment, practicing these tools to help us live mindfully throughout our week. Let's start tonight with a prayer. We could put our palms here at our center, connecting to our heart. I encourage you to close your eyes. Just feel the energy moving through you, breathing with your breath prayer as we continue our prayer together. Dear God, please help us to be transformed in your image tonight and every day, to become more like Him in our thoughts, words, and actions. Amen. We're going to keep our hands here at our heart, pushing our palms together, continuing that breath for 2 more breaths. Chanting out an Om. One more. Again, breathing into our bellies and exhaling Om. Beautiful. We'll stay here for a moment, continuing our prayer breath. Our prayer breath is when we're inhaling and exhaling any words that we relate to at this moment and this day. It could be as simple as breathing in Christ and exhaling love. Imagining that flow of energy, waking ourselves up for connection to ourselves, to God, and to each other. Again, we're practicing some Kundalini yoga today. In Hindu tradition, it's depicted as a serpent-like energy that lies at our root chakra, the base of our spine. So let's start to ground ourselves there at our base, at our hips. We're starting to straighten our spines, strengthen our abdomen. Our shoulders are staying up, back, and down, chest open. Chin's up, heads toward the sky as we continue our prayer breath. Beautiful. So this energy is believed to represent the potential for spiritual growth and enlightenment. And though some Christians are hesitant about chakras, since they are not a Christian tradition or idea, that we're using this is a tool for us to understand our mind, body, and spirit connection. We're focusing on centering ourselves in Christ, being like Christ. So again, we're using this tool as a method for us to connect tonight, continue in our prayer breath. Our fingertips are touching. We could start to part our palms and bring our hands down toward our lap. Just our fingertips are touching now. Again, we're imagining that flow of energy, a flow of light, starting from our base. So we're grounding ourselves down on our mat. I welcome you to sit any way that's comfortable for you here. Just focusing on waking up the energy in our hips, grounding ourselves here, and sitting up tall. Inviting ourselves to be vulnerable in this community. Church is a place for us to be open and to be a part of a Christian community that's open to every way of living, ready to experience every way of worship. We're a part of an international web of people who care for our existence. And so back to our access consciousness, the thoughts and ideas that we all share together. Our shared goal is to be a person who honors Christ. Being a Christian is to be a person who cares, and each of our journeys are unique. So again, personally, do what's right for you tonight. As we start to move into our stretch, we're going to put our feet to the sides, my hands to the back. Will push me up toward the front so that my hands can go in the middle of my legs into a frog position, a frog squat. You can keep your head facing down toward the floor at first, or you could start to set back toward your heels to lift your body a little higher, keeping our spines nice and straight. Again, just imagining that energy at the root chakra, at the base of your hips. Focusing on balancing ourselves there. The balls of my feet are touching the ground. My heels are pushing back to encourage my spine to stay straight and my hips to go back. My palms are just here to support me. I'll continue my breath here. Good. You could gently rock here, finding your center, encouraging your hips to stay open. Good. And your stomach to stay engaged to help keep that spine straight. As you push up towards your palms, heels come all the way back, right into a forward fold. I'm reaching down towards my ankles if I'm able. You could push down toward the mat. Let gravity take you down now. Beautiful. We continue our breath through this sequence as we start to walk our hands forward to the front of our mat, our feet back. Again, the balls of our feet are holding our weight, but we can start to push our heels back. We could pedal them side to side, starting to wake up our lower legs and our upper back as we push our palms forward. Our heads are heavy. Gravity is pulling it down for us to keep our shoulders engaged, pushing us up, keeping us grounded to our mat, maintaining that connection the whole time. Beautiful. Starting to push our hips even higher up toward the sky. Thinking about a straight back, straight legs. Our hips are the highest point of our body here. Beautiful. We'll start to walk back up nice and slow. Back to our forward fold. Our feet are about shoulder width apart. And again here, we're just allowing gravity to pull us down. Feeling more flexible than we were before. We're just warming up, so take it nice and easy. Again, feel free to come down to your mat at any time. This is our own personal journey. We're doing what feels right for us to wake up this energy inside, to connect to ourselves and to others. Continuing our breath. We're going to step one foot back. I'm going to start with my left. My front foot stays facing forward and I'm coming right up into a warrior pose, breathing through it nice and slow, keeping my knee over my front ankle. My knee's not going beyond my toes. And I'm looking beyond my fingertips forward, heads up high, straight backs. Beautiful. And we're imagining that flow now, coming up and out our fingertips in front of us. We'll breathe it out. Imagine your breath moving beyond those fingertips. Good. Keeping my feet grounded here. I'll stay here for 2 more breaths. And then we'll reverse it back down, coming right down into our lizard pose. I'm coming down to this front foot. My back knee is coming behind me so that I can fold and loop this front ankle through my arms into a lizard pose. My palms are keeping me steady here. And again, I'm focusing on the energy here in my hips, letting them fall down toward my mat. Gravity is pushing them down. I'm taking it nice and easy, nice and slow. I'm not worrying about the posture of my left leg. my leg that's back behind me. I'm just feeling what's comfortable for me. You could rock here, find your center. And if you're able, you could start to sit back into it. Encouraging this back hamstring to stretch more. Getting closer to your mat. Great, everyone. And I like that modification, Sarah. I'm seeing some forearms here. That's a great idea, coming down toward your mat. Again, just encouraging your hips to come down toward your mat. And we'll stay here for just a minute since this is a unique position. This is not a position we're normally in. So we'll let our bodies feel comfortable here for a minute and get used to this feeling. I encourage you to ask yourself how you're feeling here, what sensations might be happening with you. Being aware of any tightness in your body, any discomfort. Again, taking it slow and taking it easy and doing what's right for us and our bodies here. Good, now I'm coming back up to my palms and I'm going to start to reverse it by coming back up to my knees into a tabletop position. My hips come back together. My palms are still in front of me. The balls of my feet are going to come back and push me back up to my downward dog. We're going to practice this sequence a few times, coming up into our down dog. We could pedal here. Again, finding our center and ensuring that our hips are the highest part of our body. Then walking our feet forward, right into a forward fold. Good. We're practicing the same sequence, moving up into our warrior. So nice and slow. We're going to inhale and exhale to put one foot to the front. The opposite leg this time, hands out in front of you. Looking beyond those fingertips, nice and tall, nice and strong. Our feet are grounded here on our mat. And as we exhale, we imagine the flow of energy beyond our fingertips. Good. I want to remind you that your knees should not be passing your toes. Our goal is to keep our knees over our ankle. Good. Strong bodies, strong spines, up toward the sky. We'll stay here for one more breath. And then as we exhale, our palms come back down toward our front foot. And we're moving the opposite direction, weaving that front foot forward through our arms, pushing those palms down. Our back leg doesn't need to be straight. We could keep our knee bent, whatever's comfortable for us, so that our front hip, this left hip, is stretching down toward our mat. Good. I could sit back into it. Feeling that through my right hamstring. Or again, coming down to your forearms. And again, we're going to stay here for just a moment since this is a unique position. Continuing our prayer breath, imagining that flow of energy. And I'll share with you here, I have been crucified with Christ. And it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And so again, we're reminding ourselves of that concept that there is a God-like energy within us. There is Christ-like energy within us. And for us to connect to ourselves, to others, and to God, we are awakening it and welcoming that energy to be alive inside of us. Let's continue our prayer breath, imagining that flow up through our hips, through our mid-back, up to our shoulders, eventually out through the top of our head, our crown chakra, Our connection with the universe and with God is stronger with each breath. We'll exhale and start to push ourselves back up toward our palms. Again, reversing it, coming here to our tabletop position. We'll stay here for just a moment to recenter ourselves. As we just focused on just our left side, here we come back to our center. Our palms are about shoulder width apart. Our shoulders are over top of our wrist. Our knees are behind us, not too wide, not too close. Just nice and easy tabletop position. We could look up to the sky, stretching up for a quick cat-cow. We exhale down, scrunching our stomachs in, hips in toward your chin, chin to your chest. Again, we inhale up. And we exhale down. Let's practice that one more time, finding our center by inhaling up and exhaling down. Coming right back to neutral. We're doing that quick to find our center once again so that we can move back into our downward dog, the same sequence we practiced. The balls of our feet come back. My palms push my hips back so that my hips will be the highest point, up toward the sky. We're waking up that energy, encouraging ourselves to be flexible, to feel strong. Continuing our breath, we could pedal our feet here. And again, straightening out my arms and legs to encourage my hips to be the highest point of my body. Slowly, I'm walking back up to my forward fold. Letting gravity do the work for me. Pulling my head down, my shoulders down. Letting our spines relax here. We could bend our knees, but our goal is to keep them straight. So we'll bend them and then pedal them up to keep those hips high. Good. Feeling more flexible, feeling stronger. These movements become more natural the more we practice them. And it becomes easier for us to identify areas that might need extra attention. Again, ask yourself where you might feel any tension or discomfort tonight. We're going to be tender with those areas. Be mindful of them. Because again, we're on a personal journey to serve ourselves and to serve God the best we can. So by taking note of these things, we're aware of our personal journey so that we can show up for each other. Good. Well, we're going to stay here for just a moment. A few more breaths, and I'll share with you this verse. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Again, the idea that the more that we take care of ourselves, connecting to ourselves and to Christ, the more like Jesus we are. We think like Him, act like Him, pray like Him. Let's continue our prayer breath as we slowly start to wake our bodies up from the top of our head, up to our shoulders, and mid-back, continuing that breath as you pull your hips in. Engaging your abdomen to stand up tall and strong. Beautiful. We're going to roll our shoulders, opening our chest. They're going up, back, and down. Chins up toward the sky, continuing our breath as we move here into our mountain pose. Our feet are about shoulder width apart. We're feeling strong and tall. And our arms can start to come up. We'll lift them this way to open our shoulders, encouraging our chest to stay open. Good. And as we're here, we could practice that prana. We've been working on some different pranas, some ways of connecting nice and gently. We're going to put just our fingertips together here. Imagining the closure of that energy, a seal. Prana means seal in Sanskrit. So by practicing these, we're sealing different channels of energy. Again, encouraging connection to God, ourselves, and to others. Let's continue our breath here. Good. And move right into our shoulder stretch. I'm going to choose one arm, bend it down toward my mid back, and gently push down on that elbow, pushing it in toward my head. I should feel that through the side of my arm, down through the side of my body. Keeping my hips in and abs engaged so my spine is staying straight and strong. Beautiful. Then switching back up to my mountain pose, hands up. We'll breathe here, bringing it right down the other direction. Beautiful. Again, imagining your chest opening to the sky, up to the heavens. Bringing that power into ourselves. As we continue our prayer breath, for one last exhale before we come back to our mountain and move our hands down here to our chest. Beautiful. Now we have our hands here at our heart, feeling connected and feeling strong. Our feet are grounded here at our mats. Our hips are tucked in to keep our abs engaged. As we breathe here, again, we're imagining that flow of energy. In Kundalini Yoga, it starts here at your hips. So I encourage you to close your eyes here and imagine that flow up through your mat, through your feet. Continuing to move up through each vertebrae of your spine, up to your neck, and up through the top of your head, connecting you up to the skies, to God above us. We'll continue our breath here. And I welcome you to add some chanting to your breath here, some ohms, or whatever sound feels good for you as you exhale. Humming gently to encourage that vibration of energy. Good. And as we feel it move, we feel ourselves become stronger and more open to moving our bodies in this way. Let's start to bow down, letting our hands fall back down to our forward fold. Nice and gentle, nice and slow. I encourage you to keep your eyes closed here and just relax into it. Let your body do the work for you. Continuing that breath and reminding yourself that Christ is in you, the hope of glory. And so with that, we're thinking of treating ourselves with Christ's love and forgiveness and grace. We're not pushing ourselves. We're easy with ourselves. We're loving and kind. Again, taking note of anywhere in our bodies that might feel discomfort or tension. Taking note of it and being kind to ourselves about it. I encourage you to be gentle and find positions that work for you. Again, this is our personal journey, and we're here to stretch ourselves in our minds. As we continue our prayer breath here, we'll walk our palms coming back right into our downward dog, practicing that same sequence. The balls of our feet back. We could pedal out the palms of our hands toward the front of our mat, pushing us forward and down so that our hips are the highest point of our body. We're moving a little slower now, holding these poses for a little longer. Again, feel free to modify any way that feels good for you, or come down to a position that feels good for you at any time. Good, then coming right back down onto our knees, nice and slow, one at a time. Our hands are about shoulder width apart. We're going to be right here on our tabletop for just a moment. Regrounding ourselves down and stretching up for a quick cat-cow. We inhale up and we exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Beautiful. We'll come back to neutral, staying here for just a moment, because the next step in Kundalini Yoga is actually shaking and moving that energy throughout us. So what I'm going to do is just put my hips back here on my knees, or on my feet, on my ankles. Let me face you so I can show you. We started already by shaking our shoulders, doing a couple shoulder rolls, stretching them up, back, and down to open our chest. But I encourage you to put your arms down. And as you shake your shoulders, your arms will shake beside you. Good, letting your hands just fall to your sides. Shaking our spines up from our hips. I'm sitting here on my hips to remain grounded there. But my whole spine, my shoulders are shaking. Encouraging myself to be vulnerable, to wake up that energy, and to feel comfortable moving my body. That's our goal here, is to be comfortable stretching, to feel strong in our own bodies, and to feel secure in our community so we can stretch together. And this is a way of worship. We feel comfortable sharing ways of worship together. Beautiful. Let's put our arms up to our side and stretch up here, fingertips together. We're looking up towards the sky. Oh, good. And since our hips are back and we're sat down, we're able to curve our spine up just a bit so that our chest is reaching up toward the sky. Good. Again, taking note of any strain, especially around our neck or shoulders. Being sure to take a break or make any modifications as we move. We'll stay here for one more breath, and as we exhale, our hands are coming back down to our side. Again, let's move back into our shake. Rolling our shoulders, letting our hands move here at our sides. Maybe feeling a little funny or a little uncomfortable. Again, that's what this is about, stretching ourselves to do something maybe we wouldn't normally, to encourage ourselves to feel comfortable moving together. We'll inhale for our hands to come back up. Again, fingertips together, encouraging that connection. As we imagine maybe a string is pulling our chest up toward the sky, curving our upper back just a bit So face our chins up toward the sky. Good, then releasing back down. Our hands are going to come behind our back now. Let me turn so you can see how my hands are just cupped behind my back. And I'm going to stretch them first, just straight down toward my toes. Again, imagining that string pulling you up toward the sky so that your chest is staying open, your abs are staying engaged. Taking note of any discomfort here in your neck, especially. We're super gentle with our necks. So if you're feeling any tension, feel free to release or shake around to feel what's comfortable and safe for you. Beautiful. Let's release right here. We'll shake it out. Good. Again, encouraging that movement of energy. We're channeling our energy here in our hearts right now. Our heart chakra, our center of love and giving. And we're giving ourselves an opportunity here to stretch, to feel comfortable and secure, moving our bodies in a way we wouldn't normally. Let's twist our body to one side. I'm going to start here at the left. My hands cupped behind me. Again, now I'm imagining that string is pulling at my heart up and to the left. Focusing on one side at a time. As I exhale, I'll come back to the center. Good. Opening up here, imagining that string pulling you up. Curving our spine just a bit. Then moving over to the other direction. My neck and my shoulder is pushing me toward the other direction now, toward the right side. So I'm just gently looking. My chin is facing toward that right wall. I'm feeling that stretch toward my side, through my right shoulder. Then gently twisting back to the middle. Imagining that string one more time, pulling you up. Then as we exhale, we release back down, shaking out our shoulders once again. Beautiful, guys. So again, like I said, in Kundalini Yoga, the stages are shaking, dancing, standing, or sitting in stillness and relaxing. These are ways we can encourage the movement of energy in our bodies. So let's start to come back to our easy seat. Starting to sit in stillness now. Good. You can sit however is comfortable for you. And again, just focusing on putting those shoulders up, back and down, opening ourselves to the skies. That's a really easy method of connection, just looking up. Imagining that string, that pull of energy. As you inhale and exhale, let's sit in stillness for just a moment. I encourage you to close your eyes and practice that prayer breath, breathing in and exhaling a simple word or phrase that will work for you. Again, our message today is that Christ is within us, and that by learning and being with Him, being in this community, that we become more Christ-like as well, that we can think and be like Jesus in our everyday lives by loving ourselves, others, and God. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths, just sitting in silence. We're grounding ourselves down here at our mat. Our hips are keeping us strong. Our base and root chakra keeps us connected. We're taking note of how we feel after our movement. Again, paying attention to any spots that may have some extra tension or discomfort. I encourage you to tap them, to stretch them out, following your body's lead, listening to your body's messages, and adjusting accordingly. Good. Now as I exhale, I'm going to start to put my feet out to the front for a V shape. Good. Opening up my hips here at an easy seat. Again, this might feel kind of funny, so let's pedal out our feet first. Maybe rock side to side here in our hips, finding our center, grounding ourselves in this position that we might not normally sit in, or we might not normally be in. Good. To feel comfortable here, my hands are starting here at my knees. And I'm just focusing on keeping my hips tucked and my shoulders back to keep my abs engaged here. We'll stay here for just a moment. Then nice and gentle, you could put your hands here toward your center and start to reach your shoulders toward the front of your mat or toward your toes. And you should feel this stretch through your spine. We're imagining that we're being pulled from our shoulders here. Our neck stays neutral. Our hips are staying tucked. To keep our abs engaged, we can start to inch our fingers forward, walking them just a little bit further. Good. Again, starting at our shoulders, but as you continue to stretch, walking those fingers forward, we can imagine that our stomach, our tummy is being pulled down toward our mat to meet our hips. Good. We'll stay here for one more breath. And as we exhale, we'll start to walk back up. Again, hands at our knees. We could wiggle our toes here, shake out our ankles, maybe sway at our hips. If you'd like, you could stretch your hips a little further. We're going to move side to side now. So choose a side and gently twist your body similarly to how we twist when we cupped behind our back. This time my fingers and hands are moving forward toward the side that I've picked, toward that ankle. Holding on tight to the side of my leg, the side of my foot, starting to walk my fingers forward, feeling that stretch through the opposite side of where you've picked. So since I'm stretching toward the left, I should feel that through my right side, my right shoulder. Maintaining connection of my hips. My hips are staying down, grounded on my mat. Again, stretching a little further for one more breath. Then nice and slow. As we inhale, we come back to our front, hands here at our knees, stretching our ankles. You could stretch even further if you'd like, or bring it back in, whatever's comfortable for you. So we could stretch to this opposite side. Once again, grabbing toward this opposite foot to my ankle and the side of my foot. I'm focusing on keeping my hips grounded toward my mat. And slowly exhaling to walk my fingers a little further. Deepen that stretch to feel it through your side. Now through my left side since I'm grabbing here on the right. Arms stay nice and straight. Again, imagining that string pulling our shoulders toward the right and down, our tummies down toward our hips. Staying here for one more breath. Then coming back to our center once again. Good. My hands are at our knees. And we'll come into our frog pose next, the same way we started. So I'm going to put my feet to the front. My palms are here at my back. I'm going to push myself up to bring them in to the middle of my feet. Again, squatting like a frog.
Here's the contact information for
Sorry about that. The balls of my feet are keeping me grounded at my mat. Keeping me balanced. I'm pushing up my palms. Good. And imagining my hips being pulled down. Again, I want to remind you that this is your root chakra, our center of energy. Our hips are an important way for us to stay balanced. They hold our weight. They keep us grounded. So let's give them some credit. Let's show them some gratitude by stretching them here, showing them some love. Maybe thinking that we're thankful for our bodies. We're thankful for our strength. We're thankful for our ability. And again, just by thinking these things, we're becoming more Christ-like and growing closer to Jesus. Because he taught us, though we are not an instructor of God, we can never know what God is thinking or doing. That we do have Christ within us, inside of us. And so by showing us that love and that forgiveness, we are able to become closer to him. Again, this is a very personal pose, so I encourage you to do what's comfortable for you. We're staying here for a little bit now. But feel free to come into a comfortable position whenever you're ready. Or challenge yourself to continue to push those hips back. Letting your heels pull down. Feeling that stretch through our lower legs. Good. Before we exhale to come back into our forward fold, the same sequence we practiced. Feet about shoulder width apart. Gravity is pulling us down toward our mat. We're going to move through this sequence one more time. You guys have done a great job. Again, keeping our hips high. As we continue, these stretches feel more natural for us. We feel more secure, more confident, stronger, more flexible. I encourage you to really relax into it now as we finish our session. Focusing on any areas of strain and just imagining them melting down. Taking it easy and slow as we exhale to walk our hands toward the front of our mat into our downward dog. One last time, pedaling side to side to push those feet back behind us, heels back. Our palms push our shoulders down, keeping those spines straight so that our hips are as high as they can get. I'll share with you this verse. Jesus shared, "What I can do, you can do." And so we consider all he's done in this wonderful Lent season, the Easter season. We consider what he's done for us and how we can emulate that in our life moving forward after we leave our stretch and sip today. How we can use these tools to be better for God, ourselves, and for others as we move through our week. Challenging ourselves to stay here for one more breath before we drop back down into our tabletop position. Beautiful. Recentering ourselves here at our mat as we start to cool down into our child's pose. Hips come back toward our toes, fingertips toward the front of your mat. Resting our heads down, letting ourselves melt down fully here. Beautiful. We are bowing down, finishing our practice here as I share one last verse. To them God has chosen to make known among the Gentiles the riches of the glory of this mystery, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. Again, Christ is in you, the hope of glory. So as we stay here, let's continue that breath that moves up through the base of our spine and creeps itself up to the top of our heads. As we exhale, we can let out an Om to feel the vibration of energy moving through us. Beautiful. We've gone on a personal journey today, feeling what's right for our bodies, giving ourselves time for a prayer breath, to connect to our thoughts and hand them off to God. So now let's come back together, back to our shared ideas, to our community. Continuing to think of how we can serve others and share that best version of ourselves with them. I'm so happy you all have come today to be a part of our service. And I encourage you guys to share any successes, any worries that may be on your mind. You're welcome to share them out loud or silently as we finish our practice. And together we'll pray over them. Let's start our prayer here silently as we stay here in child's pose for a few more breaths. And nice and slow, I'll start to walk my body back up to my easy seat. Again, just centering my energy here at my hips. Always coming back to my hips today. But this time I'm not focused on my posture or my strength. I'm just seated comfortably, continuing my breath. You're welcome to add in a fingertip touch here. You could touch all your fingertips together, or choose just one. I believe the third finger represents our connection. Yeah, our middle finger represents Akasha or connection. So again, that's our connection to the sky. Akasha means sky. And we focused on that a lot today, imagining that string pulling us up to the skies. Because as we know, God is above us. And so we're encouraging our connection to that higher being. Reminding ourselves, Christ is in you. Is moving through you. And we all are his children here, ready to share his ways of transformation, love, and light. As we come out into the world after this service tonight, more open, more loving, more kind. And so as we complete our meditation tonight, I encourage you to put your hands together again here at your heart, pushing those palms together so that we can share a prayer. Dear God, thank you for showing us the power in serving you, a higher purpose. I pray you help us continue to show up for ourselves, for you, and for others. Amen. And I'll share with you Namaste. A quick bow before you go, because that's the end of our practice, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if you have anything you want to share before we go, you're welcome to share. We have only a few minutes. I know some people are going to other events, and it's already 5:57. So if you have somewhere to be, it'll be a quick turnaround. But I would love to share a sip with you. We've got some new mocktails. So let me grab that, and I'll grab you some spray for your mats as well, of course. Hi. Oh, nice one, Sarah. Do you guys need some? Want some? Yeah, of course. Pop off. All right. Hi. Oh, yeah. Here you go.
So when you're done,
I need to end it, yeah.
yeah, so when you're done, it'll automatically end at 6.
Okay.
You can go home. Go to church.
I know I did it last time.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you if it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I was actually broadcasting. There we go. See, click
Got
on
it.
that one.
Okay,
Broadcast.
that's on Boxcast. Okay,
Yep. And that's it.
amazing. All right, I can't wait to watch it. I think the microphone worked well. I was losing my tape a little,
Oh,
but
I'll find
it wasn't as bothersome as I thought it would be.
I'll find some better like medical tape or something.
Okay.
Like that. So,
Yeah, I mean, this worked.
Perfect.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, now I need to shut it down, right? Okay. Yeah. Sounds good to me. That was crazy.